Alright, so I'm going to try to explain WeVideo as best we can. I'm sitting here, this is my computer. I'm sitting at home in the basement. You got a hockey game going right there. I got a fire going. You got the dumb cat sitting right there. This is the main page that you start from. I have found that none of the stuff across the top here really helps too much. I live in dashboard, so I'm going to go ahead and click on dashboard right there, and this is going to bring us to what I would consider our home page. Alright, so the first thing we got to do before we even make any sort of video is to add the content. So this is our main dashboard page. I'm going to go up here and hit media. That's going to be where we upload stuff to. So it'll bring you to this thing. Okay. Obviously you can hit import right here. I've got a bunch of stuff already on my computer. So I'm going to click right here. It's hard to see on the little camera thingy. It says browse to select. Okay. I'm going to go back into my desktop right now, find the documents I want to add, and I'll plop them in there. So, all right, so I obviously got a whole bunch of different files here. I'm going to click on mine that says WeVideo. I got a bunch of random pics lined up. I'm going to just select all of them. A little bit difficult to select all of the pictures when you only got two hands. So right now I got them all selected. I'm going to hit open here down at the bottom. Okay, and in theory we're going to those are going to be imported here for us. If you're curious on the progress of your imports, what you can do is you can hit down here bottom left corner, right down there, and it says view details. You click on that and it's going to tell you how far along each one of your pictures and stuff is. As they get 100% loaded in there, you'll see they'll start popping up here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now. So eventually you're going to get all of your stuff loaded in. Give yourself a little bit of time though, because it took me about 20 minutes to get 10 things loaded in. So you'll see all your little files here. I put a bunch of random pictures of me and my kid, and that's a teacher at our school. He's kind of a knucklehead. He's a soccer coach too. So once you get that loaded in, go up here to dashboard, okay, and just hit create new. Now you'll have two choices. I'm up in the upper left, right up there. If you are in this timeline mode, this is a disaster to start with. So don't start in timeline mode unless you know what you're doing. So I'm gonna go back up here and we're gonna live in storyboard mode. There we go. This is gonna give you some options. You can set up your theme right down here, so you can see where my mouse is. If you click on that, you can pick your theme. I'll go down here. It's kind of Christmas time, so I'm gonna click that. Alright, so now it's all going to be about picking your images you want in. Whoops. So I'm just going to click a bunch of random things. You can see them popping in down at the bottom of the screen there. That's the order in which they're going to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit those four and call that good for the moment. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of pictures loaded down here. From here you can change the order of your pictures just by a simple drag, moving them back and forth there. So if I wanted that goofy picture of me to go second, you can. When you're clicked on it, okay, if you click on the picture there, I'm zooming in here, you can see where the little pencil thing is. If you click on that, I can add text. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple things here. Right here you can change kind of your font, bolded, italicized, just like Word. Change the size of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to a couple pictures here and show you how it turns out. One final thing here before I make the video. If I want one of these pictures to be bigger or smaller, all you got to do is click on it and then drag it, make it bigger. So if you want that clip to be on there a little bit longer, you can do that, or shorten it up. It's up to you. So it gives you that option in this preset as well. So once you got all that stuff adjusted, you're sitting here looking at a screen. If you click over on the right hand side here, you can go into a full view. If I hit that and hit play, here is my video at the moment. See my little Polkowski project there, and then starts the random picks. So, reaction when the Packers missed the playoffs. There's a All-Star game picture. And all the video and all the transitions and music is preset in there. So this is all done for me. I didn't have to come up with this on my own. And just like that, we have ourselves a nice little video. So when I go back into my dashboard, as soon as I think I'm done with that video, I click finish right there. Okay, I can save a title for it. I'll just keep it as my video too, so I don't have to set the phone down. Hit set. Make it standard just because it's going to save and easier to move that way. Hit finish, and bada bing, bada boom. It's going to load it for me. So it's a 29-second video, really easy to do. Everything's preset, and now it's just saving for me. It would make me happy as a reindeer on Christmas if somebody had a question. We could hit pause and discuss how to make this video. Alright, so the last one we did there was the good old storyboard mode. This time we're going to go into timeline mode. So this is for the more advanced people. If you go up here, there's a little, I don't know, menu thing. Do the drop down. If you click on the timeline mode, click on that one right there, and that's where we're going to be right here. This is, like I said, for the more advanced video person. Alright, so here we are back at it, day 2 of this project. Back in Wii Video, same spot. Still got the hockey. Still got the fire, still got the dumb cat. Sitting here looking at the videos that we uploaded. Don't know 100% if it was me or just the Wi-Fi situation living out in the sticks. But for those 9 little video clips that you've listened to, it took about 4 hours from the upload. So if you're in a classroom, not entirely sure that I would be in love here with Wii Video unless you have nice Wi-Fi. To get things uploaded quickly, or else give yourself some time to get everything where you need it to be. So anyways, I got a whole bunch of videos here loaded in. Took a while, but it's there. So in theory, in order to run these things together, all I got to do is just click on it, drag it down into this timeline here. You can see when it gets in there, it's green. You put it in there, and blammo. So there's my first one dropped in there. Second one up here, gonna grab it, click, hold, drag, drop it into that spot again. You're gonna want to probably make sure that you're not overlapping. So I'm gonna do that for the rest of them and make this video as smooth as I can here. So I'm gonna do that. No need for you to watch me do this. So that's what I'm doing here for to get this thing all loaded and ready to go for you. Again, with all these videos loaded, I want to make sure that there's a spot to stop and ask questions. So I actually kind of did this in a little different way. Found it to be a little bit more effective. So what I did was just add just this still picture of my buddy Dustin here, looking like a knucklehead. And I'm going to add a little bit of audio that says ask questions now or something along those lines. So if I want to add audio over the top of it, up here is this audio voice recorder thing. You obviously need to have this on your, Surface or computer or whatever, but I'm going to click on that. Okay. Now at this point, if I click this, I'm going to record. So if I click this right here, 3, 2, 1. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now. I'm going to stop recording there. Sounds good to me. And I'm going to insert that into the voice there. So right up here is my voice recording. It's a whopping 5 seconds. I'm going to drop this down here at the bottom. I can shorten up the time here for Dustin so his picture's not up there any longer than it has to be. So that's going to be our natural stopping spot. So added that in there. That way I've got a stopping spot. As you get more and more in depth on this thing, this up top here, that's a file where all of our media is staying. If I want to add text to any of my pictures, I can. If I want to have audio, there's some free audio. I can do a transition here. If I want to click on transition, it gives you a whole bunch of different options. So let's say I like this burn thing. If I click on that, I can drag it down there. It turns green when it's in a happy spot, and that'll add it right to the front of that picture that we added there of Dustin. So if I go and hit my preview over here and hit play, they'll start popping up here. There's Dustin. You can see how it kind of burned in there. So if you want to add transitions between each one of your videos or slides or whatever you want to do, it's just up here on the top. Hit transitions and it's got all these presets for you. So one of the final things here we're going to look at before we call this a wrap. Again, this is for the people that are really getting fancy, but you've got the option to add background music to whatever you want to do. So up here, there's text. Like I said, we can add text. If we want to go into audio, it gives you a whole bunch of different preset things. Romantic journey, discovery, jazz club, mysterious hip hop. Let's go with that one. So if I grab this thing, I can grab it, drop it down here into audio. Oops, sorry, you didn't see it. So if I grab it, I'll drag it down here into audio. You can see audio 1, audio 2. If I drop it in there, it's going to go behind whatever I want it to go. So I'm going to put it right here. That's going behind my little dude, and now all of a sudden I got mysterious hip hop behind the picture. So yeah, just kind of an added little touch that you can do. Not too difficult. That song there is kind of long, so if you wanted to shorten up the amount of time good old Jack is on the screen, or lengthen it right there, you just move that thing up and down and it's changing the length of the picture. You can do the same thing here with our song. So if we don't want 2.5 minutes of what was it, mysterious jazz or hip hop or whatever the heck it was, you can shorten it or lengthen it based on what you need. So that's just, again, down here in the kind of our timeline mode. So if you want to lengthen or shorten, it's just a simple click and drag, and you can do that with any picture. All right, final little recap here for WeVideo as we wrap up this little tutorial. I think people find this thing pretty easy to use, regardless of whether you have a background in video making or not. I think it has the ability to be used by everybody. Just for reference, this final project was done in timeline mode, which is the more advanced setting in WeVideo. So whether you're a beginner just using the storyboard, or more advanced and messing around in that timeline mode, I think it's something that everybody can use. So the timeline mode, once you get the hang of it, is pretty slick. You can have so many different things in here in terms of customizations, in terms of transitions and sounds and added text and background noise and transitions in and out, and so you can really make the product whatever, or your final product whatever you want it to be. The nice thing too, and I didn't show it just because of time and wanting to keep this thing to 15 minutes, because I want to present this in our training, but the ability to cut out simple mistakes in your audio or in your video, it's pretty easy in WeVideo. So I think anybody that's done any sort of video editing before will be able to figure that one out on their own. So the negative part of WeVideo, I know it does cost our district money.
It's a paid subscription. I'm not exactly sure what we're paying for it, but that could obviously be an issue for some districts. And then the long load times. If you're loading videos, unless you're in Edina and have like the world's greatest Wi-Fi, it takes quite a bit of time. So there could be some frustration with kids trying to load videos into WeVideo. But once they're in there, they're really easy to use and manipulate. So all in all, I think WeVideo is a positive thing. If you can get past those long load times. If you have questions on WeVideo, we got some time here to do a little Q&A.